is a champion that you can flex around,
Okay.
and it is. So it's Seraphine mid for quad, so they keep the option open here with the Seraphine. My immediate expectation was definitely that it was going to Busio, that they're playing for a dominant 2v2, but when you see what Gen.G is showing you in the draft, I think it's
Drake, but it does look like they're at least putting a couple bodies in the area. Gen.G first to the grub pit. Canyon will smite grub number 1 to at least guarantee that Gen.G will get that one, but now Inspired making his way over, and it looks like FlyQuest will maintain control over the top side river. Gen.G are happy to just take the single grub and back away, so FlyQuest will come out on top in this one.
Now to viewers, it may seem confusing, so the objectives, and that's what you love to see. That's what you want to be seeing from this FlyQuest, playing with confidence, playing with the nameplates off, and treating Gen.G like a
Drop the equalizer if need be.
TP mid.
Canyon ready to start taking aggro here a little bit as the equalizer comes down. Inspired already gonna lose half HP. Chovy jumps in, not gonna find the charm. Immediately engaged, coming up from Busio. First blood of the FlyQuest, and Chovy is down. Seraphine ulti roars over the top, and Gen.G has lost 2 men. FlyQuest just killed 3 of them, and they're gonna hit 4 grubs too.
FlyQuest wipe Gen.G off the map, crush the first team fight. They get the 4th grubs, and they didn't even need Whippo.
Control over the grubs and the dragon. An ulti will come through into mid.
Quad's in a little bit of trouble here as Lehens jumps in. Canyon over the wall wants to try to join up, but it ain't gonna matter. Lehens is already down, and a beautiful move from Inspired, using the ulti to knock the enemy Skarner back. Now Whippo's ready to make a grand entrance, and he's grabbing a 5th kill of the game for Fly.
Thinks it's gonna be an easy game, and he is over forcing mid lane there. Misses the ulti on Quad as it was sidestep. Still
The nameplates off. They're struggling right now.
Well, Busio's coming in for the wraparound. They want to go after Chovy. They don't find what they're looking for, and FlyQuest might have got a little over-eager. The tier 1 turret still standing as Keen drops the equalizer. Busio's going to be careful of Asu's about to die. He flashes away as Keen wants to chase him down. FlyQuest on the retreat. They nearly...
And the mobility of Chovy to find a re-engage, and even if they don't get any kills, they secure themselves the Rift Herald, which is crucial to help them unlock this mid tower.
And critically, Keen is able to trade his flash for the cleanse and the flash of Masu. So Masu is in so much danger now in this next potential fight. FlyQuest do get the mid lane tier 1, so the trade right now I think is totally fine for them. My big concern is, can they actually fight for the next dragon? Because you would love to go for Mountain Soul, and FlyQuest are in a great spot right now, but if you show up this next dragon in 130 with no summoners on Masu, he is so vulnerable, and I think there's a real opportunity that Gen.G
see. Lehen's going to be the one to face check.
Yeah, but Leona walks forward. Busio jumps over the wall with a combo as FlyQuest looks to put some DPS into Leona, but it ain't going to be enough. A lot of damage back into Inspired. Crescent sweep to barely stay alive.
Oh,
and
no!
is down. Whippo over the wall goes in for a massive multi-taunt, and Keen's thrown up into the air. Inspired escapes the death rocket, but now they're dragging FlyQuest back. Whippo's first to die as Pace continues firing, and Chovy wants another. Canyon steers
No
back.
summoners here. It's FlyQuest moving to Soul Point, and it's FlyQuest really showing their class against the world's best.
And this is the performance of FlyQuest. They are delivering as they play for the top tower, an uncontested tower.
They really want to make a move.
Whippo's behind them. Whippo's
Chovy
behind them.
Using the charm, trying to stop the engage here. Paze wants to get away. Seraphine ulti flying over the top. Whippo's trying his way into Paze, but the game barely gets away. FlyQuest continuing forward, but a nice equalizer from Keen tries to stop him. Canyon shot to pieces, and Whippo wants more. There is no equalizer. Whippo looking to wrap around Gen.G as they come to try to challenge for the Baron. Keen on the back side of the wall, but immediately Busio's going in to try to stop him. FlyQuest making their move. Whippo's into the back line. They found Paze, but there's no follow-up. Busio's already dead, and Whippo goes to rejoin the rest of the team. FlyQuest will claim the Baron, but they have to trade Busio for it. So Gen.G will now get the tier 1 turret mid and stop the Soul as a response.
Busio will pay the ultimate price, but it is a price worth paying. The Baron secured. FlyQuest, they will concede the dragon, but it doesn't matter. That is bounties that Gen.G have to claim against FlyQuest, who are dominating in this first game.
They are, but that's 2 bounties that they're going to be able to actually pick up here, and the question is, and instead they go for the Baron. If they don't get a ton with this, that's 3 bounties that were given over off of the lost fight because they had to sacrifice Busio. They need to push the pace. They need to get so much with this Baron, or it really wasn't worthwhile.
All right, FlyQuest forces down the tier 2 turret here in the bottom lane. That would be the first tier 2 river. They're gonna go ahead and start that Drake up. It's already down to half HP. Canyon's getting zoned out. Equalizer into the back line as Quad sidesteps away from the solar flare. Dragon's still the focus coming out from FlyQuest. The Jolt is secured, and now they're turning it right back on the Lehens and Canyon. The Leona tries to flash away, but it ain't gonna work. Masu chases him down. Bustio trying to keep going forward with Whippo as they lock up the carries. They beat down Pays, and Gen G falls. Chovy trying to hold the line, trying to buy time, but it costs a hell of a lot. And FlyQuest are barreling towards the base. A beautiful stop on the recall from Masu.
What a fight from FlyQuest. Heavy is the MSI crown, and Gen G are crumbling under its weight.
Solo laners versus FlyQuest. Keen and Chovy trying to hold on, but another Seraphine ulti flies out, and Chovy drops dead. Keen pushes forward and finally claims Busio, but it's only a 1-for-1. Game number 1 is about to end as FlyQuest lead the series.
Shoved in non-stop by the Orianna. This is going to make Canyon's job harder because he's not going to have mid lane prio. You have very little wave clear on the Castan as well, but what they do have in spades is side lane pressure, harassing this guy constantly as Canyon is going to make this so difficult. They're going to go for the dive.
3v2 dive from Gen G. Lehen's going to lead the way. Whippo trying to stay alive. He's barely hanging on as he flashes out. Paige trying to chase him down. It's first blood back over to the Ash. Busio still wants to get one back, but he doesn't have the damage. The Riptide slows him down, and Gen G.
Flash, he could look for this.
They're letting that recall run down.
Here we go.
Busio wants to go for the dive. This will be pretty important here for FlyQuest. Knock up onto Chovy. Not enough damage to take him down, and now Busio's Cougar food. Canyon shows up for a punish, and Gen G are looking.
Canyon, along with the advantage that he's been able to gain early, secures the third grub buff. And FlyQuest, they're kind of forced to trade. I think wise at this point when you don't have the same strength in your bot lane 2 versus 2. But you're seeing the difference and the power of Ashe in the early game and what she's capable of.
I mean, look at the EXP difference between the top laners. Whippo just ticked over to level 5. Keen is halfway to level 7. And we're talking about a Jax there with the Arcane Shift to buffer through the grab. As Chovy here in mid lane might just find himself on the receiving end of a snowball, but considering he's level 7, he can still buffer through that knockoff. But nice shockwave coming out from Quad. Surely they get this kill. No way.
Forced to help his top laner push out this wave. Whippo is really struggling in the 1v1. He's the one that's paid the biggest price in terms of how the early game lane swap has panned out. And very wisely, Gen G took advantage of the Ashe pick to just...
Exactly what Gen G wanted to see, as Canyon is now looking to repeat his success here on these Nidalee ganks. Keen flashing forward for the stun with a counter-strike. Needs a little bit more damage to kill off Whippo, but the Croc survives. Canyon will...
I will say, I do think, as much as people talk about Castan as his late game beast, we'll see if Whippo can get out of this.
Lehen's with the dredge line. Whippo in trouble. Arrow from downtown. The Renekton's still in danger, trying to slice and dice his way out of trouble. But Canyon's got the kill secured. Gen G claim 1, but a teleport's ready to try to get something in response. Quad shows up, trying to put the damage into Pays, but he flashes back over the wall to get away. And the shockwave is an airball. Nothing else for FlyQuest yet, as Lehen's is now the target, and Inspired cuts off his escape. FlyQuest making an even trade 1-for-1, and Inspired wants to grab the Drake after.
You're right, Flowers, it's a 1-for-1, but look at the mini-map. Mid is being pushed in, top is being pushed in, the Dragon will be conceded as Canyon. Is he overstaying his welcome?
Yeah, Quad's still chasing after him here, but there is Pays to provide a little bit of extra peel. FlyQuest don't have the lockdown or the damage.
Top side, he's going to get solo gold on that tower, and it's a first tower going over to this Castan.
Exactly. He's picking not just the scaling champion, but the super scaling build. He's heading straight for raid boss tier, and I don't see who on FlyQuest has the gear to clear him. He's just in such a good spot. Only 15.5 minutes into the game, and Gen G has now gotten all 3 of the Baron Pit objectives in the early game uncontested.
I mean, the reality is the only person who's going to have a shot at doing it,
that was so close. If that hits Quad, he is in some serious trouble, and he might still be. Chovy chasing after him there, but will not find enough damage for a kill.
Yeah, critically the arrow misses. He is going to be able to survive as a result, if we're going to see Inspired looking mid.
Finds a knock-up onto Pays, but Canyon's here to peel for his AD carry. Redemption summoned up, Inspired just shot to pieces. Gen G grabbing 1 kill already, and Canyon ain't gonna drop. Pays finding the DPS in this one, as Keen's ready to jump in to make it 3. A triple kill for the Gen G marksman. Those arrows fly straight.
Pays Pays with phenomenal footwork, dancing his way around the fight, dodging the knock-up from Busio, and then re-engaging off the back of the damage from the tower and Canyon. Gen G putting their foot down and looking to crush the hopes of FlyQuest here in Game 2.
Yeah, they're running away with the second game. It's looking like it's going to be a tied-up series. And let's not kid ourselves, there was no way Gen G would ever go down without a fight, and we might see Whippo going down too.
I think it's more than a maybe, Mr. Azael. I think Whippo is out of there. They'll give the kill over to Chovy.
The Ash or the Canyon Nidalee wasn't able to even get the one kill.
The locket from Lahen's doing so much work as well as we turn our attention to live.
Chovy in a 1v2, and he doesn't seem pressured at all. Busio and Quad without the damage to really threaten this guy. The arrow flies in from all the way up in the river, and now it's Busio under pressure. Shockwave hits both Gen G players, but what's it gonna matter? They get the kill on the support, and they force the flash out of Quad as well. Gen G, they made some overeager plays in Game 1, but here in Game 2, they are playing to their limits, and they are crushing FlyQuest.
I mean, they just have so much gold at this point, and the problem with the composition of Fly is it's not matching up well to what Gen G have. They're losing in the isolated 1v1s. They don't have the damage to get the hook. Connects.
Lehens connects onto the turret, and it sets up Pays to just keep firing. Unstoppable. 5-0-2 here for the Ash as Canyon throws the spear back over the wall. Whippo's coming in on the flank, looking to lock up Pays, who pops the cleanse, getting away from the Croc, trying to kite it out, but Whippo takes him down. 1-for-1 though, as Inspired is also going to drop with Lehens falling. You can see an ultimate 2-for-1 trade for FlyQuest side as they still continue going forward, looking maybe for Canyon, but it ain't gonna happen.
I mean, FlyQuest, they're going down, but they're going down swinging. Masu, no way out.
No, not from that Kassadin. Chovy is on it.
I feel like it's going to take a genuine miracle for Mario. FlyQuest always lose.
Exactly. I mean, it's so tough. If you can't win 5v5 and you can't win sides, you can't win League of Legends.
Well, they're going for the 3v1 play against Keen, but he's buying enough time. Pays arrow isn't going to hit the target. Keen is down. FlyQuest.
Masu slightly oversteps, and Chovy sees an angle.
Chovy not afraid to continue going forward. Inspired the target down to about 1/4 HP. Heals up a little bit with the chomp. Redemption keeping him alive. Busio fires back going in with the quickness, but Chovy's so tanky. Gen G's so far ahead. Whippo's gonna be your target here next as the Shockwave doesn't do much. Pays getting the kill on Whippo. Gen G just cutting them down like flies. Another triple for Pays as Quad is the only one left standing. Gen G 4-for-0. Baron's coming up next.
And Gen G smothered the last flames of hope here for FlyQuest. Quad's gonna go down as well, you have to think. No.
Keen ultimately dies to the turret. He nearly killed the turret to stay alive there. Will enjoy a nice new purple coat as Baron drops 23 minutes into the game. Gen G, both AD carries have had a game where they were on the Ash. They were in the driver's seat, and they were determining how this game would be played, while the other guy was sitting back.
They just don't have the money to really support any play they want to make. It's simply a matter of time for Gen G as the base continues to experience the siege. Level 14 now for Pays, pushing bot, pushing mid. The Baron power play nearing 3,000. As FlyQuest are very quickly running out of options.
Yes, the tier 3 turret in mid lane, now about to fall. Gen G forcing the issue. Lehens with a flash over the wall, going in for the dredge line, ain't gonna find it. Inspired, having to pop the ult for the shield to stay alive. Redemption here too. Mid lane inhibitor already down. Bottom lane, the next target. Keen just set it up perfectly with the timing on the wave, and now Whippo will get locked up and shot down. Sterix will not keep him alive long enough, and Gen G will not be stopped. Busio drops next, and the remaining 3 FlyQuest players fall back to the last bastion of the Nexus turrets, but Pays will not stop. He continues leading the charge, and Chovy's dominating. Another dredge line misses, but it won't matter. Quad and Masu trying to stay alive, but a step outside of the fountain steps is certain death. Gen G clear the Nexus turrets. FlyQuest head back into their base. It's a tied series. Gen G take game 2.
Harder, maybe situationally the Urgot, but I think FlyQuest have a really strong draft. I think they are very powerful in the 5v5. The Braum, though, great answer against the double AD carry, and even Urgot that kind of acts almost like a pseudo AD carry in some ways, to be able to block so much of that.
Masu and Busio. They got to play this one right. Canyon going in. They already popped the heal at the very start from Gen G. Busio taking a ton of damage here. Canyon's getting locked up. Lahenz eats another turret shot as Bwipo goes forward. Canyon's still trying to get away. The Urgot not going to get a kill on anybody as now Bwipo's in danger. Pace shifts forward. Busio and Masu still fighting, still fighting. Double knockout. First blood over to Masu. Double kill over to Masu.
Go back to base. Doesn't have the TP available. Lahenz is already here to the play. Chovy has the power, but they dive bot.
Bottom lane, Pays at 200 HP. Masu has to get rid of the turret aggro now as Pays is still fighting, but it ain't gonna matter. Icathian Rain buries Pays underneath the tier 1 turret, and FlyQuest claim a 3rd kill for their marksman.
A crucial set of sequences happened on the map. While Gen G gained the advantage on the Grub, they did so by bringing Lahenz up. FlyQuest needed to make a cross-map happen, and they rightly do it. We talked in game 1 about playing with the nameplates off. They didn't look at Pays' names, they just saw an Ezreal that should have died.
Bwipo in trouble as Canyon trying to make his presence known up here on the top side. Bwipo's locked up, beat down. Canyon gets Gen G on the board.
Importance is we are going to see Gen G claiming the first dragon, claiming the first 3 grubs. You definitely do not want to give 6 over. It is risky business, but if you can deny them from getting to those towers, then hey, it can really pay off because the grubs are only potential power. If you're getting shoved in those lanes, they don't do a lot for you.
FlyQuest is hovering around the area here a little bit, but they are not going to go any further forward. Inspired and Busio's feet never touch water.
As Melee Champions on the other side. And I don't think we're going to get a fight here, but we'll see. They are peeking in to see if they can get a lucky steal. But when you're playing against these 4 Melee Champions, sure, we might win this one. Maybe it's 55-45. But guess what? In 10 minutes, it's going to be 70-30, and we'll fight you then.
Working towards that. On the other side, though, Gen G, it's also an amazing poke tool to have the Hex. Gen G is going to get their first turret of the game here in the bottom lane. Canyon came down to apply enough pressure to force Bwipo to step back so that Keen is able to secure the turret. But now it's Keen under pressure. FlyQuest going in for the fight. Bwipo will lead the charge as Inspired on the approach right next to Busio. Keen doing a good job kiting these guys out for now, but his goal is only to buy time. There is no escape here for the Crocodile, and Quad gets the 4th kill for FlyQuest, but the trade in mid lane is there. It's the Rift Herald summoned up by Gen G. They use it to force the tier 1 turret down, and Lahenz drives it back into the tier 2. Now Inspired and Busio show up to force Lahenz back, so ultimately Gen G do close the gold gap despite FlyQuest getting the pick down in the bottom
TP
lane.
flank.
But a TP up in the top side now as Chovy could be in trouble. Bwipo moving in, still moving towards this guy, slows him down with a grenade, and now trying to get that extra little bit of space. Disdain with the flash! Bwipo finds Chovy, but where's the rest of the damage? Busio wants to go in, but he will not get his man. Inspired still hanging around here. Farsight trinket from Gen G to stop the FlyQuest jungler. Canyon showing up, and another TP is coming in from Gen G. Inspired is way too far forward, and surely he dies. Gen G. Quad yet compared to Chovy, who is at the mark. Down to the bottom lane. Chovy going in with the stolen lightning crash. Quad with a sidestep away from multiple ultis as Busio counterattacks with the quickness, but Gen G still got more men. Inspired wants to go in and find some sort of an angle here for the ulti. He only gets Canyon. Another knockup, but the Gen G jungler's way too tanky. Inspired's gonna die again if he's not careful as Keen kills Bwipo down in the corner. Lahenz still retreating. He's got the unbreakable, but how breakable is he? Masu goes to the rampage, and Chovy keeps.
It's where FlyQuest can keep hitting. There's worlds where they can win out on the fight, but trying to burst down that single target, they couldn't actually keep Canyon still enough for long enough to
Look for a pick on Bwipo. If he goes forward, he's probably dead.
Yeah, Bwipo's in some danger here, flashing out, but Keen's ready to flash follow. Bwipo getting stunned up, chain CC'd by Canyon there with a Glacial Prison. Bwipo's buying a lot of time, but it ain't enough. Sterix Gage won't keep what we were talking about at the very beginning of the game when FlyQuest got that double kill in the bot lane.
Canyon's behind him.
Canyon coming in, Gen G making their move. Inspired's gonna be the target here, but he tries to force the enemy front line back. The Skarner's locked up in the front, he's gonna get beat down. The Sterix ain't gonna matter yet again, he drags 2 back. Into the back line goes Chovy. Inspired flashing away to barely stay alive, but now Bwipo's gonna be in danger as well. The first kill is going over to the stolen ulti, and Chovy puts Bwipo in the grinder. Now Pay's gotta be careful. There goes your Void Seeker. Pay's still getting away for now. Masu trying to fire a few more of these off. Quad and the rest of FlyQuest trying to get at least a little bit of mid lane pressure here. They're down a man. They got to be careful as they continue retreating. Inspired went back to the base to heal, but now Masu's got to be careful. There's your use of that cleanse from the Mikhails as again Gen.G continue the chase, but Masu's unstoppable. Lehens went in too far. Sap shoots out of the wall, and Key's got to be careful. So much pressure, but it's not enough. Masu cuts them down. Oh, ye of little faith. Believe in Masu on the AD carry. Chovy still trying to escape. He dashes back over the wall, and FlyQuest take a huge fight.
And they're gonna go to the Baron Flowers. They're gonna go straight for it here. Bwipo is chasing for the kill. He has his ulti up in a second. He'll see if he can find Chovy, but it's Masu, the Canadian sniper, stepping up and getting the triple.
And Bwipo even finds Chovy. He damages him with the grenade over the wall. Chovy's death is going to be certain. It is going to be delayed. And
It's Masu taking over the fight against Gen.G.
Bwipo. 2 minutes.
I mean, you see now why they have so much faith in Masu, why they put the resources into him.
Inspired's got to be careful here. Remember, this is the same spot of the map that he overextended previously, and it cost FlyQuest. But now, the state now as well with his Blade of the Ruin King completed on the Zeri. FlyQuest push continues as Canyon, Pays, and Lehens will back away from the tier 2, while Chovy takes a tier 2 over in the middle of the alcove, but a nice use of the Scryer's Trinket to make it so Keen doesn't have a chance to teleport away in time. Masu waiting on the tanks to lead the way first, and immediately Inspired just slams Keen right back into the wall. Here in the bottom lane, tier 2 turret in their sights, and Gen.G nowhere to be found. Fly, knock it down.
Closer to that ever-important fight. They both take placement in the mid-wave. They contest, and here we go.
With the flash disdain, Canyon's gonna be your target here in the front, but a nice counter-attack coming out from Chovy. Beautiful stolen Skarner ulti. Isn't enough. Masu's low. Killer Instinct to give him the shield to try to stay alive as Keen dives into the back line, and Bwipo's already gonna be killed. Top for top. 1 for 1. Masu, legendary, but FlyQuest bleeding.
Yeah, and Masu has no resources here. Are they even going to try to stay around? He's got no summoners. They got to go back to base. Gen.G win the fight off the back of that Chovy ultimate. Inspired tried to get one of his own, but it was only on Lehens. It's Chovy who makes the difference.
Chovy stepping up when Gen.G needs.
Quad pushing out mid here is going to be able to get this tier 2, so the gold lead does extend. But
True Shot Barrage flies out from Pays, only hits Inspired. Baron down to 60%. Keen is on the flank, and FlyQuest do not know. They've got to be careful about this one as they continue DPS here with the Baron. Canyon and King gonna step up. Masu's already under pressure, and immediately Busio was about to die. Keen's gonna get bursted into the front line on the other side, and Masu stays alive. He's still firing, still fighting. Quad pushes forward, goes to the killing spree. 4 versus 3, but Pays fights back. A beautiful shutdown over the Ezreal as Bwipo jumps into the disdain. Pays goes into the stratosphere, and Masu goes legendary. FlyQuest just killed.
Through from FlyQuest as they dance with the dangerous Baron, but they succeed. And
competition as FlyQuest with a 5-man push, now in the bottom lane, trying to crack the base of Gen.G. Keen and Chovy on the side. Chovy with the stolen Rakan ulti, look for the quickness as Busio jumps in. Turret's already down. FlyQuest forcing the issue, but a True Shot Barrage over the top of 4 is going to try to hold the line for Gen.G. They continue backing away. FlyQuest took a couple and needs something even greater. True Shot Barrage with no results this time. Chovy eating a little bit of damage as Inspired moves forward, and the second inhibitor will fall. 30 seconds
now, and hope that they can hold the line in their base, but FlyQuest crossing the T from responding.
Masu does a ton of damage to this objective all by his lonesome. Canyon would lead the charge for Gen.G. Chovy has lost a good chunk of HP here in the approach. The FlyQuest squad just trying to buy a little bit of time to secure the Baron, but Bwipo might die. Quad going in for the lightning crash. Gen.G are dying. FlyQuest have already killed everybody. FlyQuest will push Gen.G to the absolute limit. They will take a 2-1 lead.
It's Quad with the Quadra. FlyQuest march on the Nexus.
The first Nexus turret, the second Nexus turret, the Nexus itself will all fall to pieces. FlyQuest.
Really the only setup that they have for the Nidalee Spear is the Maokai, right? Which makes you believe they're going to be targeting down that bot lane. It is Rakan Ezreal, very weak early 2v2.
In Italy, no troubles at all securing the first set of grubs. Gen G going to get 2 of those immediately for themselves. As you can see, Bwipo coming down to try to take a look at what's going on. Masu will force Keen all the way back from the wave down here in the bottom lane. Still got to pay enough respect to Cassante when he's close to the turret, but it's not nearly as big of a deal when he's not level 6. And Inspired and FlyQuest, they're just going to trade these early neutral objectives, go after the dragon. Inspired, you guys already mentioned, he's a level.
But ultimately, he's still in a fine position, has the level advantage, hasn't died early.
Oh, Keen, nice use there of the knockback. Masu going to be forced to use that first summoner spell to try to get away. Keen's going in for the 1v2. He knocks him back. He knocks him. Yeah, Keen's feeling great about his current place in the game. As Inspired showing up here after Chovy. Arctic Assault flash to lock up the Gen G mid. And Chovy with a late step. Never the World Finals, never the World title. And now being this close, we'll see if they can bring it to a game 5 against FlyQuest as Bwipo tries to flash away, going into Dominus here in a 1v4. But surely Gen G just get it done. Bwipo
It's going to be reduced significantly. Getting the kills, getting the plates. Now that lead that Masu had built has all but dissipated.
It is, but they are going to be trying to trade back on this top side, giving the local gold here all towards Masu, farming up some of these plates. But it is going to be first tower here, down on that bottom side for Gen G. Carries in the late game. You've got great engage, you've got good front line. I think they can feel comfortable to slow it down, to play it under the advantage that they have earned for themselves with some of this early game power. Nice Scryer's trinket there. It does actually calculated.
It's a Shockwave top lane.
Quad in trouble though. Inspired shows up to try to block it for him. Chovy flashing over, making the outplay to guarantee they get their man. But now Inspired and Busio are still looking to lock up the Gen G mid. Masu's there for a little bit of extra damage. Chovy doing everything he can to kite it out, but it ain't gonna matter. Inspired secures the kill. Canyon with a flash away from the grand entrance from Busio.
In this game, Canyon obviously maintains a very large farm advantage.
Let's see here if Lehens can get away from this. Inspired and Quad chasing after the Maokai, who used the flash to buy a little bit of extra time, but now it means there should be no way for him to get away from this. Quad will keep on chasing. Falls for something like this dragon. Meanwhile, an arrow flies out. Keen going all out underneath the turret, but Bwipo's looking to outplay here with the Dominus. It's a 3v1, but Bwipo gets away for now. Canyon, the backup, the spear connects. Bwipo with a flash away, and the TP is going to be way too late. Quad goes in to find the shockwave, but a beautiful use of the stasis from Canyon. He stays alive. Gen G maintain a 1-kill advantage as Quad and Busio have to retreat. The tier 1 turret is down, and
Single part of the map right now, which usually shouldn't be possible, but they know how strong they are.
Yeah, you're talking about a full level lead in top. It's a 2-level lead in the jungle. Bwipo's Dominus ain't gonna matter. An arrow through the heart. Trying to get away. Gen G bringing in a TP. Cassante still not even taking any meaningful damage at all. Continuing to push forward. Arrow doesn't hit the target, and Chovy's gonna flash back away. All out from Keen. Quad's under pressure, and Bwipo's about to die. FlyQuest chased too far. Gen G are ready to punish, and they want even more. Beautiful engage from Kanan to keep on following it up. Quad barely trying to get away. He's got 200 HP remaining, and the Nidalee says no. It's nothing
Under the dragon to Gen G. And gentlemen, I feel like we're going to Silver Scrapes.
I think so too. Gen G are just playing this game out so incredible.
Spawn. Perhaps a Baron could be FlyQuest's way back in.
Bwipo looking for the flank on Pays. Dominus pop with the arrow to immediately try to stop the FlyQuest top laner. Sterix Gage to keep him alive. Keen's ready to keep on pushing forward here with the Pathmaker going in, looking for a little bit more damage onto Quad. Bwipo's gonna be dropped first. Quad's gonna go right with them. Bwipo and Quad, the solo laners down, a double kill.
The Shockwave combo connects, but it just doesn't do enough damage. Another Baron begun by Gen G.
FlyQuest knows they can't afford to give this one away, but what else is even gonna happen? Chovy and Gen G chasing after FlyQuest, killing Masu, burying Busio, and just them coming in from Keen. The Cassante that has run the whole game, start to finish, seals their fate. Canyon's unstoppable, and Quad is dead. Bwipo and Inspired can't get anywhere close. Keen is a brick wall, and FlyQuest don't have any siege equipment. Inspired's trying to escape as Chovy jumps over the wall, but now FlyQuest is in an even rougher spot. Busio wants to make space for his team, but a third and Topo strike knocks back two. FlyQuest still trying to run, but Gen G's stronger. FlyQuest just trying to get any sort of a pick they can, just trying to slow this down any way. Blades. He's got the armor penetration on the Mortal Reminder, and he's got the rest of Gen G beside him. FlyQuest going in for their final Hail Mary. True Shot Barrage over the wall. Lehen's tanking up as Chovy gets back away, Inspired down to 300 HP, and Whippo does nothing. Shockwave on 2 won't matter. Inspired's about to bleed out. Chovy's dominating, and Keen won't stop. Double kill, back over to Chovy. FlyQuest are gonna have to be ready for game 5, cause Gen G are ready to clean this up. Masu and Inspired trying with everything they've got to defend the last 2 Nexus turrets, but Gen G is far too powerful. Lehens and Keen making the space. FlyQuest trying to hold on, but it's not gonna work. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Silver Scrapes.
Hell yeah! The Maokai gonna be the final lock-in for Lehens, going towards the bot side of the map. So much utility on the side of Gen G. The Maokai ultimate, the root, the ultimate from Canyon. The one
don't want anything to do with this fight, and a Gen G team that's already almost 1,000 gold ahead just off of laning secures the first 3 grubs.
Yeah, I think Inspired was really hoping to just steal 1 grub and then get out of
Quest. I think that something worth noting is, as Azale has mentioned so many times this series, FlyQuest are willing
Inspired working on all of them. He can use that W to drain them all down. There comes Mom, but FlyQuest look like they're just going to secure all 3 grubs. No wait in the banana brush on approach, but it looks like Gen G is not interested in contesting this Drake. FlyQuest going to take that one.
about 13 minutes in when we were called for the longest first blood at Worlds.
Well, they want quad. It's going to be TPs coming in from both sides. Fate Sealed arrives, but he buffers back through the Impale with a Soul Unbound. Mom roars in. Quad is low, but he ain't dead yet. Keen's in trouble, but he turns it back around. First blood over to Chovy, and Gen G get their moment.
An intense play that's not over yet.
Lehen's trying to jump in now and get a little bit more boostio. Oh, he's
212. 18 and a half minutes into the game.
Back in the mid lane, though. Masu caught out of position, pays, and Lehen's getting the kill in the FlyQuest carry.
That was the missing flash. Lehen's forced his, his cleanse. He forced his cleanse down on that bot side around that skirmish. This time, uses the flash, flashes forward, catches him out with no cleanse.
He's already on Trinity Force plus Muramana. This guy is set up to be the carry, but inspired with the ult at the end of the wall. Immediately into the showstopper coming out from Whippo. Boostio jumps in. And Chovy is down. Quad goes with the Fate Sealed, looking for Canyon now as well, but he's gonna have to snap back here in just a moment. Gen G's mid laner finally caught.
Farm as much as you like. FlyQuest will take the kill on him anyway. Looking to set up for this tower on bot for the next dragon as well. The rewards do grow, but Chovy's up in 20. We'll see if he wants to do anything on the map with this TP, because for now,
the Alistair, not optimal, but you'll still take the kill. Bot lane tower secured. I'm surprised.
Mega Inferno Bomb in there.
Can they finish?
They've got the Baron down to about 5,000. FlyQuest going from an insane Hail Mary right now. King going into the pit as now the teleport's going to come out from Chovy. Whippo is already dead. Keen's looking to take Inspired out of the picture now too, but Keen's going to die. Inspired also drops. 2 for 1, favoring Gen G. FlyQuest went for the crazy play, and Gen G are ready to punish. A double kill for Chovy. Church with a 4,000 gold lead. It's 23 minutes into the game, and they're bulldozing their way to the FlyQuest Nexus. The bottom lane inhibitor turret falls. Bottom lane inhibitor next on the menu. Whippo trading back a tier 2 turret up in the top side.
Yeah, I mean, the wave clear for FlyQuest is Worlds for FlyQuest.
The game was so quiet, so calm for so long, but that's the problem with those Hail Mary plays. If you drop the ball, all of a sudden you are staring down the barrel of terror. Over the wall though, go Inspired and Quad. They find the pick onto Keen.
Hysteric's being procced, and now FlyQuest getting corralled a little bit here.
Yeah, Busio flashing over the wall, trying to make the play on Canyon, but he wasn't fast enough to get the headbutt the other way. Lehen's coming in trying to help him, but Chovy's ready. Mom's already been summoned. Canyon's low, but he ain't gonna be killed off here just yet. And already Quad bites the dust. FlyQuest again overextending, looking for their way into the back line, but a double kill over to Chovy. Whippo's gonna die next. Gen G are slaughtering them. A triple for the mid laner.
Even there, so they can't finish off these kills, and now Masu gonna get caught out. He's gonna go down as well.
Surely there is no way out here for a Callista. They'll give the kill over to Keen this time. No respect needed, no respect given. Gen G looking to put pressure on the tier 3 turret on the top side and mid lane at the same time.
They did get flash off Chovy though, so he TPs in, he loses his flash, so that could be a small way in for FlyQuest. Let's see if they can find it.
FlyQuest are gonna have to find something big because Gen G just keep.
You have to step up in these big moments. He has been able to do just that for Gen G in this 5th game. Got a big
position. Busio coming around to try to help them. Inspired has Ghost on his Summoner Spellbook to try to join up. Busio now looking to reinforce the lines as well, but it looks like it's going to be so hard for Whipple to make his way into the fight as they have to try to save Busio now. Masu barely hanging on. Inspired back over the wall here with a Grow Storm, but it ain't going to be enough just yet. Masu can't even find any damage. Pei stays alive. Redemption for the heal. Chovy's dominating, and Masu burns. Keen gets the kill, and Whippo will just try to get away from Lehens and Pei's. A double kill for Keen. FlyQuest is aced.
All 5 members of FlyQuest drop, and Gen G will crush the hopes of North America.
Gen G was pushed to the limit. They were pushed to the edge, but they were built for these situations. They were built for victory. They were built to win, and they will do just that. Whether it's 3 games, whether it's 5, it does not matter. Gen G has a date with Destiny and the semifinals.